Hey guys, Kitty here again. I'm just here to do a nice review for you guys for the Wave 1 mic. It's the new mic, one of the new mics by Elgato. Uh, Absolutely phenomenal mic. I'm going to go over some of the issues as well as all of the benefits with you guys. So stay tuned if you want to learn a little bit more about the Wave 1. I know that there's a lot of videos out there about the Wave 3. So for those of you who are maybe looking to get something that's a little bit cheaper and are wondering what exactly is the deal with the Wave 1, I'm here to answer what I can. So the Wave 1 is one of the new mics by Elgato. They've just come out with the Wave 1 and the Wave 3. The benefits of the Wave microphones are the built-in pop filter, the clip guard, and it's also got wavelength software, which acts as a software mixer, and it even comes with kind of like a built-in low-frequency filter, which I found actually works pretty well. So the big differences that we found were the max sample rate is a lot higher in the Wave 3. The Wave 3 has a capacitive touch button on top to mute the mic. And then the Wave 3 also has a dial on the front that lets you control the headphone volume, the input gain, and the mic PC monitor crossfade. Whereas the Wave 1, in order to mute it, you need to push the volume dial on the front, and that volume dial only controls your headphone volume. Now, these actually aren't very big differences. As the average streamer, I honestly don't know if you need a higher sample rate. We looked it up, and I mean, I'm not doing high-class singing. I'm not a throat singer. I'm not an opera singer. So that was something that I wasn't overly concerned with. The capacitive touch button on the top, I actually didn't want. I have, if you've seen any of my streams, I have 3 cats who are often getting a little too friendly with my setup. The last thing I need is a cat to mute the mic while trying to be friendly and rub against it. So that, if anything, was a downside for me. The dials on the front, I mean, they could be handy, but I already have an Elgato Stream Deck as well. And because both were made by Elgato, they've actually have insane cross-functionality. So there's even profiles that you can automatically upload into your Stream Deck that will put all of your sound channels and everything in there with all of the different controls and all of that. It's actually really nice, and I'll go over that a little bit once we get there. So right now I'm actually using the Elgato mic to record this video. As I've done a little testing, I self-monitored. I will actually turn it on right now, even though I hate hearing my own voice. But if I do this, I can hear myself. And when I'm quiet, I actually don't hear any fans or outside sounds. So, I mean, the low-cut filter is actually pretty good on this. So I'm going to switch to this just so I can show you a little bit around the software. So within your Wavelength software, this is the Wavelength software. As you can see, I've got all of my different channels and everything here. This here, please view my tutorial on setting up Wavelength through slobs if you are using a multi-PC setup, because it is not as intuitive as we might hope, and it unfortunately does not quite work as expected. So that's the one downside with this, and I say the one and probably only downside with this mic so far, is that unfortunately the Wavelength software will not work with most capture cards. The way that Elgato phrases it makes it seem like it will work with most, or like they aren't very clear on what devices exactly it works with. All they say is it works with some of our capture cards, such as the Camlink and HD60S Plus. What they don't tell you is that it only works with the Camlink 4K, the HD60S Plus, and the 4K 60S Plus. It does not work with the HD60S or from my knowledge, any of the internal capture cards will not be viewable as a hardware source. This is probably my only real issue with this mic, and it's not even the fact that these aren't supported yet. The mic, as of this video, is only a few weeks old. It's expected that there are going to be issues. What my issue is with how Elgato has kept this issue largely silent. It took me probably a couple weeks of research trying to figure out how to set up my system, as well as contacting Elgato directly and asking them very specifically, point blank, which capture cards worked. When I initially emailed them, I was asking how to get this to work with the HD60S, and I just kind of got a blanket response whereby they said that it only worked with their UVC devices such as the HD60S Plus. They didn't go into any details at all until I full on asked them point blank which devices were compatible as a hardware source. It's really unfortunate because the fact is this mic is phenomenal. There is not a single thing that I don't like about this mic aside from that. And as I said, there are workarounds from that. Please check out my other videos if you want to see those. It sells itself. You don't need to lie about it. And even if you're not, you're going to argue that they're not directly lying. They're definitely hiding or not being entirely upfront about how everything works. So that said, we're going to go over this a little bit more. So within the Wavelength software, if you look in here, you can see you've got your gain settings. So again, I'm using the Wave 1, so I don't have these dials on the front. But if you were using the Wave 3, to my knowledge, you would actually have a dial on the front that lets you control each of these three here. So you've got your gain, you've got your output volume, and then you've got your mic PC mix. This enhanced low cut filter, I find is actually pretty damn awesome. So let's see what happens if we turn this off. I actually haven't done this, so. Okay, yes, so with this off, you can actually hear a little bit of my computer. And then if we turn it back on, that goes away completely. So that's actually pretty damn cool. Is also awesome is this clip guard. So this clip guard means that if I get really loud, it's not going to get distorted. And we're going to do some testing later to see how well the clip guard works, and I'm going to try to break it. So I'm a very excitable gamer. I am very reactive. I tend to scream a lot, whether it's during a horror or when I inadvertently dive off a cliff in Assassin's Creed only to splat myself on the ground and realize that I'm not doing a leap of faith. So we're going to put that to the test and just see how well it works. We're also going to compare it to the Blue Yeti, which is actually pretty comparable in price to the Wave 1 microphone. So again, as you can see, I've got it set up here too, so that we've got voice chat, I've got game sound, which unfortunately doesn't actually go through anything. I can probably get rid of this now, but SFX is for my soundboard, which I have running through my Stream Deck. Slobs is, I renamed the system sounds because I don't need system sounds coming through on my streaming PC. Browser, microphone is the Blue Yeti, which I've temporarily put in here just so that we can do some tests and comparisons. So the awesome thing about this is that, say you're somebody who, everybody knows that there have been actually a lot of issues lately with record labels filing DMCA claims on Twitch. But what happens if you really need to have your music to get you hyped up for those MOBAs and those kind of games? Well, the Wavelength software, so I can hear this right now. As you can see, it's going nice and loud through my browser, but nothing is coming through for you guys. And this is going to let you cut things out, whether it's browser or whether it is your voice chat, anything really. And this is my first use of a mixer, and I'm honestly loving it. It's great when I'm playing Division 2 with one of my mods. You know, sometimes we want to talk a little bit about what we're going on, about our days, etc., while the stream is starting. This way, I can actually mute my Discord on the stream so that we can talk and get stuff set up while my starting screen is running. Also, if, say, you're playing with viewers and you let one of them in your Discord, all of a sudden one shows themselves not to be the best kind of person, maybe? You know, quick touch of the button on your stream deck, you can easily and very quickly mute your Discord and no more problem. So that's actually really cool too. But yeah. The only downside, like I said, is the issues with slobs, but please check out my other videos for a tutorial on how to get that to work. For now, I'm going to do some testing. Okay, so this here is going to be with the Elgato Wave 1. We're going to do some testing to see what happens with different volumes, as well as how that compares to the Blue Yeti. So I actually haven't done this really yet. Not with the various volume levels. So this is going to be completely raw. I am absolutely by no way sponsored by Elgato. This is just a real person demonstrating the mic and how it works. So, okay, so this is me talking kind of softly. I don't know how well you guys can hear this, but I'm like barely whispering right now. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay, and then I think apparently like pop filters are a big deal. So Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, a peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, and now the big thing is the clip guard. How well can we break the clip guard? Let's see, guys. Okay, so this is me just talking really close to the mic at a normal volume. But as you can see, I've got it super close to my mouth. Okay, now this is me yelling right into the mic with it on my mouth. Ah! I'm not expecting it to sound great, but we'll see how distorted it is. And then, you know, then there's some more realistic situations of you're playing a game and all of a sudden you're playing Assassin's Creed. You go to do a nice leap of faith off the cliff and you realize your character is flailing instead of doing a fancy dive and you go, ah! And then, just for good measure, let's get a good old... Okay, so we've done that with the wavelength now. Let's see what happens if we use... Let's see what happens if we use the Blue Yeti. Okay, so now we've got the Blue Yeti here. Again, so we've got it now at roughly my average distance. We're going to talk really quiet. I'm going to whisper because we don't want anybody to know what we're saying. Shh. And then again, I don't have a pop filter for the Blue Yeti, so we are going to Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, a peck of pickled peppers, Peter Piper picked, if Peter Piper picked a peck of blah, 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 blah. And then what else did we do? Oh, and then I talked just really loudly. I just talked like kind of with a normal voice. We're going to go kind of loud now too, and we're going to see what happens. And then I'm going to do some right on the mic again. Oh! And then we're going to do a kind of realistic situation. So we're back in Assassin's Creed. We are up on the top of a church. We're ready to dive, do our leap of faith. We jump off and realize that fucking hay bale was on the other side of the building. Ah! And then I am not expecting this to sound well, guys. You may want to turn down your mic volume right now. All right. Okay, so now we're back on the Wave 1. Again, I think this mic is absolutely worth the value. All I wish is that Elgato was a little bit more upfront with how everything worked and what did and did not work. If you found this review helpful, or if there's anything else you'd like me to test, Please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. Or if you want to catch the Wave 1 mic in action, you can catch me live on Twitch. I usually stream Monday to Friday after 7 o'clock, on Saturdays all day, with an optional stream that I will usually be running Sunday early mornings. Thank you guys so much. I really hope that you guys found this review helpful. I know that there's not a lot of information or reviews out there for the Wave 1. A lot of it goes over the Wave 3. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time. Have a good day. Bye.